years. Market strategist Catherine Rooney Vera, Heather Higgins with the Independent Women's Forum, political commentator Danielle McLaughlin, and Gary Kaltbaum. Danielle, let me begin with you. This sense that the markets don't care about histrionics in Washington or drama in Washington. They look at fundamentals, and whatever drama is happening there, they like the dollars and the advance that's happening in their neck of the woods.
Neil, I think you're right, and I think we would all be saying thank goodness for that, given the chaos that we've seen in this White House over the last 6 months, and July obviously particularly chaotic. You know, consumer and business confidence is really high, and I think a GOP Senate and Congress, obviously a Republican president, the promises of tax reform, healthcare reform, infrastructure, these are the things that I think some of these gains are premised on.
Catherine, what do you think?
Look, I think the market has done sensational, Neil, but a big part of this rally has been the Trump trade. And what's interesting to me, Neil, is that if you look at U.S. Treasuries or you look at the dollar, the Trump trade has unwound, but it has not unwound in the equity market. So what's going to take us to the next level? I think we can keep going higher, Neil, but under one condition: the Republicans deliver on tax reform.
You know, you talk about that Trump trade, and Heather, the one thing I always hear from a lot of people is, well, there'll be hell to pay if those tax cuts don't come. But there are others who say, you know, this rally has you know, gone through the failure of health care on numerous attempts, and maybe they can weather, you know, a delayed, even a denied tax cut. What do you think?
It's chaos if you're living inside the media bubble. But for the rest of the world, and particularly the market world, where of finance and global markets, you look at VIX, you look at every other indicator. They're looking at the promise of Donald Trump in terms of what he's going to do for energy, what he's going to do for regulatory reform, what he's going to do for creating jobs and stopping the problems of illegal immigration, all of which should help with the economy. And so this, you know, the turbulence in the little tea kettle bubbling away in Washington, that's just sort of ignored by a lot of this. There'll be ups and downs, but by and large, this is on track.
All right, now let's get a sense, Gary Kaltbaum, from you, because we got mixed reads on the tax cuts today about what the administration wants to see. McMulvaney indicating that they first want to get this health care thing straightened out. That surprised me. Others are saying, no, they're on board with continuing tax cuts and can work on concurrently. I don't know which is the case, but is it your sense that going back to the health care fix well is a bad move?
I would go straight arrow towards tax reform and lower taxes. I don't even know why they brought up health care again. I think it's a huge mistake, but hey, they have been back and forth, up and down and all around for 6 months. You know, the heads are spinning at this point in time. It is amazing markets are doing what they're doing, but I think what you still have, Neil, is central banks around the globe with negative rates and printing of money. You have a weaker dollar here that's really helping out multinationals and their guidance going forward, and then you have a little bit of what we call momentum. You know, new highs beget new highs, and Boeing 200 Dow points over the last week didn't hurt either. So I think we're in good stead.
Good point. And Heather, that's something, or Danielle, I should say, I want to get to this because Bill Clinton had a rocky first 6 months with, you know, gays in the military, and then the health care effort that was fits and starts. Ronald Reagan had a problematic first 2 years where it looked like neither of them were going to get reelected. And then again, they overcame those bumpy starts. Is it your sense that Donald Trump can, or are we too fixated on these personnel changes?
You know, you're absolutely right, and I was going to bring that up myself. Bill Clinton went through 2 attorneys general because of nanny issues prior to settling on Janet Reno, and absolutely his first 6 months was tumultuous, but he was able to gather himself together, get his administration sorted, and really bring on some incredible years for this country. So I don't think that this is a terminal illness. I think actually that the addition of General Kelly as Chief of Staff is excellent, because I think order is what this White House needs. This is not the end of this administration by any way, shape or form, and I actually also take Heather's point pretty well, that some of us who watch this probably too closely need to also think about.
We get a little wrapped up in it. Heather, I mean, what the other argument is that the overall environment for tax cuts, it's not gone away. the overall underpinnings of the economy, that's still solid. What do you think?
It absolutely is, and I wouldn't look for order from this administration. Trump's a business guy. He's going to fire people when they're no longer fulfilling the purpose that he needs for the environment that he's in.
Okay.
He doesn't want to look too orderly because that looks like he's controlled by others, and part of his whole MO is that he's his own guy.
Guys, I'm jumping on myself and you, and I apologize. We'll have more of the fallout from all of this. Stick around.